Hello, CW Henry parents. This is Miss Davis coming to you virtually, bringing you the principal's report for the PTA meeting on April the 13th. As you can see on my screen, the first topic that we're going to cover is reopening. So beginning with phase one, we're currently in phase one. We have 117 kindergarten, first and second grade students who have already returned to the building. We've experienced a lot of successes overall, a lot of families who've given positive feedback around this return to normalcy. We are beginning and gearing up for phase two. Phase two is reintroducing students in our third, fourth, and fifth grade, as well as class 201, which is our sixth, seventh, and eighth grade classroom for students with autism. So the School District of Philadelphia sent out a survey for families in these classes in order to opt in for hybrid learning for phase two. We've been checking the survey every single day. I did not send it out personally, but you were able to also send me an email if you're a third, fourth, or fifth grade parent, or call the main office and let Ms. Loop know. So far, we've heard from 65 additional students who are going to be returning for phase two. It does close today. So if you're a third, fourth, or fifth grade parent and you haven't sent back your preference and you would like your child to come back to school, please just send me an email as soon as possible documenting this preference. I'll make sure that it's recorded. What we're going to be doing next week and throughout the end of this week is assigning all of the 65 plus kids to either cohort A or cohort B. Cohort A is on Mondays and Tuesdays, and cohort B is on Thursdays and Fridays. A lot of families have emailed me their personal preferences based on work schedules or different situations that you have with your learning pods. I'm doing as much as I can to make sure that I can give you the days that you prefer, but it is not guaranteed. If you do have a preference, just send me an email and I'll make sure that we do our best. A member of our school-based attendance team will be calling families next week to confirm which day of the week your child will be returning to school. Just yesterday, the school district announced phase three of reopening. So phase three is for our sixth, seventh, and eighth grade general education students, the last group of students to return to our Henry School building. The district announced that they will be sending out another survey to sixth, seventh, and eighth grade parents. This survey is sent by the School District of Philadelphia, not by me. So if you did not receive a survey before, what I recommend is checking that we have the correct email address for you on file. You can always send me an email, kdavis4@philasd.org, and I can add your email, or you can call Ms. Lou in the main office and she can make those changes as well. Sixth, seventh, and eighth grade students will be returning to the building the week of May the 10th. So I've had a couple upper school families reach out to me. Of course, we will cover information in the upcoming family forum meetings that I hold every other Tuesday at 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. So if you are a 3 to 8 parent and you have more questions about reopening, I encourage you to join one of our family forum meetings. The next meeting is going to be next Tuesday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. I always send the information out on Remind either the day before or the morning of. I do want to be really transparent with everybody and just let you know that we have had so far 3 instances of COVID in our school building since we reopened to students on March the 15th. Each time that somebody in the building tests positive, I send a school-wide letter both to our staff as well as all families. I send this letter out on Remind and through Infinite Campus through your email address. Most recently, and this is the first time this happened, we have had one class who was quarantining for 2 weeks. That's because an individual in the classroom tested positive. Of course, I will continue to send out letters to everybody letting you know if and when we find ourselves in this situation. I did receive some questions from families, concerned that perhaps their child had direct contact with the person who tested positive. Due to HIPAA, we're not allowed to publicly reveal who has tested positive for COVID-19, but I can reassure you that if your child was in direct contact with whoever tested positive, whether it's a child or an adult, you, the family, will be contacted directly by the School District of Philadelphia's Office of Student Health Services or PDPH, the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. Nurse Larson has been a huge help in contacting families to explain any of the protocols or those sorts of things. If you have questions, definitely email me about it, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Moving on down from reopening, a question I've gotten very recently, very frequently, understandably, is around the PSSAs, our standardized exams. So I've done a little copy and paste here, just giving some more general information. As I think most families know, the School District of Philadelphia is moving forward with the administration of PSSAs this year. We're required by federal law to administer, as you can see, there's 4 different exams. And at Henry, we do give the PASA exam, which is the alternative assessment for students with special needs, as well as the PSSA. That's the exam for general education students in grades 3 to 8. We give the PSSA for reading, for math, as well as for science for our 4th and 8th graders only. No students at Henry take the Keystone exam. So the Pennsylvania Department of Education is asking all districts in the state of Pennsylvania to make what they're calling a good faith effort to test all eligible students this year. I know it's not the information that everybody wants to hear, but it is a requirement that we have to abide by on the school level. A couple important things to know. Students who are not returning to school in person will not be tested. We do not give the PSSA virtually. So if you haven't opted in, your child is not going to be taking the PSSA. The state of Pennsylvania, the School District of Philadelphia applied for a couple waivers with the state of Pennsylvania. And one of the waivers that we applied for has allowed us to adjust our testing window. As I said, we're making a good faith effort to test as many eligible students who attend school as possible. And the testing window that we're abiding by is the spring. And the reason that we're doing that is because the district is trying to minimize any testing that would occur over the summer, which is not what anybody honestly wants to do, as well as in the fall. That's really not how we want to start the 21-22 school year. So the PSSA testing for now will take place in the spring. As you can see in the 4th bullet point, the testing window for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders is May the 3rd to June the 4th. I do need to follow up on what the testing window is for our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And the last bullet is very important. As always, a parent has the right to opt their child out of standardized testing. If this is your preference and you do have a 3rd, 4th, and 5th or 5th grader returning who would be eligible for the PSSA, I ask that you please just document this request in an email. It does have to be more formal. I can't take verbal requests. It has to be sent in writing. Our testing coordinator for standardized exams is Miss Karen Rama, one of our learning support teachers. She's been our testing coordinator for the past couple years. Anybody who chooses to opt their child out of standardized testing, I will be forwarding your email to Ms. Rama and she will follow up with you directly. That pretty much brings us to the end of the announcements for the principal's report. As always, if you're visiting the Henry grounds, please just make sure to continue to socially distance and wear masks and help us as much as possible to keep the garbage in the garbage cans. Thank you to everybody who chipped in last week for some sprucing up and cleaning up of our grounds. It was definitely appreciated and I could see a huge difference when I came to work on Monday morning. And thank you to those who are planning to come this upcoming weekend. As always, you can reach me at kdavis4@philasd.org. I'm in the building 4 to 5 days per week, always Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And sometimes you can also catch me here on Wednesdays. So please just reach out if you need anything. Enjoy your PTA meeting, and I hope to see you all soon. Stay safe. Have a wonderful night.